Hello everyone, welcome to Healing Hearts. Today is Tuesday Thoughtful Questions. Some things to think about today on the topic of dating. Let me just go into it. Basically, I have been doing a lot of dating. I am single and I'm enjoying my single life at the same time. But dating has been really difficult. And I think we foresee love and we foresee actually being in a relationship and all these things. Some could be scared. Some people may be, going through fearful trauma that they're bringing into like the relationship or trying to find someone in that aspect. Or they're just scared in general and just don't want to do it. Dating on the dating apps hasn't been very fun. It's been really difficult for me. And the reason is because of a commitment issue. Everyone is having commitment issues. Okay, I'll correct myself. Not everyone, just a good amount of people. And I understand. I'm fearful too. And I've made my mistakes in the past where I have insecurities that come into a relationship and I can't really move forward with that relationship. And the reason is because of my insecurities. I can't even hold somebody down. But maybe in my head, the love that I'm trying to find is not correct. The love that I'm trying to seek is not exactly what love is actually. And sometimes I can say this for myself, is like the minute I find someone who's doing more than expected than I thought he would, and he is doing, bringing me flowers or doing amazing things for me, all of a sudden I feel like, oh my God, it's too much. Like, I think that's too much for me and I'm just going to back off. Or vice versa. I'll be doing a lot for someone and I'm also a giver and I like to do something for a guy. And all of a sudden I just see them run away. And it's like these insecurities in us. It's not even insecurities. It's what we think love means to us. Like, it could be insecurities that maybe this love is too much for me and that's not what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for a temporary fix and this is what I want. But we don't think about the long term. So we all know that I'm a big fan of Jay Shetty. I think I've talked about him a few times in some of my podcasts, or just in general. I've had many shout outs to him. But I did listen to his podcast back in June, and this podcast essentially talked about why do we go into toxic relationships, or why do we chase people that we're constantly needing to fix, or why do we try to be with people who are just not right for us. So I'm going to go over a few things that is from his podcast, so shout out to him. This is all credited to him, but I want to talk to you in my terms because I think it's important to kind of brief you on what I've been through and what other people have been through that I've heard from other people, that we're kind of choosing the wrong people. And why are we doing that? Is it some insecurities that are coming up within us? Some thoughtful questions for you. Is it because we foresee love as to being something else, as to be a chase? It has to be a chase. And the minute we get it, it's a validation that we have that. And maybe in the past, the way we've seen relationships, we expect love as to be that. So I want to start on the topic of how do we start making choices based on our worth? What are the things that you've accomplished today? Where are you at in your life? Do you know your worth? Do you know what you deserve? That's the first question to ask yourself. Do you know? Because that's the person you need to look for that is going to look at that on you. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, this girl has accomplished so much. She looks amazing to me. Or vice versa. A guy who has created himself to who he is today, you know your worth. You want somebody to support you on that. You want somebody to be there for you. But it's security. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about, what you're going to get in the next few months? Do you want craziness? Do you want to be stressed? Do you want all of that? No. When you're 60-year-old old and you're sitting on a couch, are you going to try to chase somebody at that point? No, you don't want to go through that. You don't want to be going through stress. In fact, it'll lead to divorce probably. So, do you want that? No, you want stability. You want strength to be with each other. You want strength to support each other. So, ask yourself this: what is your worth? Do you feel that worth in someone else too? The same that support that you give yourself, the same encouragement that you've pushed yourself to the levels you are, that job that you got, that house that you got, that car that you got. Those are the things that make you you. You built yourself there. You brought yourself there. So think about those things. And there was something that Jay Shetty said in his show is that there's usually a few reasons why we actually settle. One being the fear of being alone. So maybe we're settling for a person that it's probably not right for us, but we're just afraid to do things by ourselves, to be on our own. Maybe that's why we're settling. You know, it was funny because one person asked me, a guy that I was talking to, is basically, have you ever felt the spark between each other? And I was like, no, like spark doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me because the minute I feel a spark or I get butterflies in my stomach, I feel like I'm chasing the guy. And the other version he asked is like, but what if you feel it together, you know? And I'm just like, you just can't. You can't feel that. But it's there. It can be there. And the thing is like, it's because we're willing to sacrifice for each other. That's the spark he's talking about. That's what I believe the spark should be. And the support for each other. You're willing to do it together. What's that support feel like? What is it together? And I said the opposite side might feel a spark for me, and he'll be chasing me. But it's the same thing. It's what I think society thought love is. There's no butterflies, there's no happy ending. This is what love is. But that's actually not true. It's not, because you build love. In the beginning, it could be all the excitement, but that's temporary love. What's after that? That's what you need to focus on. What's after that? But what if, like, the chase and the excitement is something that you're so used to, which is the suffering? You're so used to chasing love all your life. That's what you believe is the most comfortable thing. So you settle for that. So you actually settle in the wrong relationship. So think about that. And then familiarity, sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but familiarity is truth. When you experience mediocre love, you start to believe that that's your destiny. You don't believe anything else is out there for you. So you're thinking, this is it. There's no more. There's nothing else left for me. So why not just go with this love? And another reason the deepest reason that Jay Shetty said was, the reason we settle is we actually think someone is better out there for us, but we don't believe they actually exist. So what is it that actually exists for you? What is your magical bubble? What is it that you actually believe that exists for you? Know your worth. That's number one. Find out what your worth is. Number two, make sure you don't settle. That's not what you need to do. If you have a bubble that this is exactly who you want and this is who you want to be with, then do that. That's what you want. So figure it out in your head, but know your worth. The biggest thing is to be respected, right? You want to make sure you're being respected. And then another topic is the opinions of society and your friends. They're probably the reason you may have lost someone that because you didn't make your own opinion. And you have the opinion of so many people, right? You have the opinion of your parents, you have the opinion of your friends, you have the opinion, but what about if you look internally? Look internally about what you want, seriously, right? The noise is not necessary. You know what you want because you know your worth once you figure out your worth, right? So you know your worth, but we tend to listen what's on TV, what's being filmed. Like it's like, and not only that, like there was an interview that I did that you'll see eventually. But we believe that everything has a Bollywood ending, or everything has, if you haven't seen Bollywood movies, it's like a Bollywood ending, but everybody has like a happy ending or a Hollywood ending too, right? Like we see, oh my gosh, they struggle to get into a relationship and blah, blah, blah. But then once they get married, they don't tell you what happens after the marriage. They don't tell you what happens after that. So that's like the image that society created us, right? It's a chase. It's like we have to continuously chase something. But that's not it. Like the reality is what you actually want, what you really want in this relationship, and build yourself upon that. So we need to ignore the noise that's out there and really focus inward on what's important to us. And maybe try to just figure it out yourself. Maybe there's an exercise that Jay Shetty gave where he said, maybe if you just do something small where you don't have to ask for advice. So for instance, let's just say a guy brings you flowers, and he didn't bring the right flowers for you. And you're like, hey, Liz, this guy brought me flowers, but he didn't listen to me. Like, I need your opinion on this. But don't do that. Just internalize your opinion. Internalize asking questions. Internalize it and just ask, why are you asking these questions? Why do you want? So just don't take other people's advice for just even just 1 week. Try it 1 week. Maybe if you can go a month with it, that's even better. But if you can just internalize it. So that's the exercise that he provided, which I'm like, I'm going to use that too. And another thing is in dating. Are you passive in dating or are you doing it out of pressure? So these exact words were said by Jay Shetty. Being passive does not attract love. Feeling pressure and desperation does not attract love. The state that attracts love is peace. So if you're within your own peace, if you're within your own peaceful state of mind, and how to get there, of course, I feel like I've given you a lot of options or resources that I've mentioned in previous podcasts. But to get there is it's basically what you're going to attract. If you are peaceful within yourself, you're going to attract peaceful love. So if you're passive, that means you're just kind of like, oh, it'll happen when it'll happen. And if it's going to happen tomorrow, great, So you're really not doing much with it. You just expect for it to magically pop up. And unfortunately, that's not going to work. You have to work on actually putting yourself out there. Maybe putting yourself on websites, whatever the case is. Just put yourself out there. And feeling the pressure. So I understand being Indian that it's like, when are you getting married? Tomorrow you're going to get married. When is it going to happen? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that's pressure oriented. And it's in all the society. And of course, because of that, you get desperate. You're like, oh my God, this is the next person in line. I'm going to marry this guy. This is the next person there. I'm going to marry this guy. And no, you want to be at peace. You want to realize that this is the right person for me. And then the next question is, that question is are you passive or are you finding relationships in desperation? So figure that out. Really know where you're at. Are you being controlled by just not caring, or are you being controlled by the pressure of everybody else on you? So understand that point. And so the question that's, oh my God, everybody has, why do we keep choosing the wrong person? Why, right? Why is it this continuous toxic cycle that we keep doing over and over and over again? And here's another quote, is that from Jay Shetty. Think about it. We confuse attention with love, and we confuse effort with desperation. We confuse inconsistency with excitement, and we confuse stability with boredom. So if a guy is excited and he's giving us all these nice things, we think they're super desperate. But that's not true. Maybe he just genuinely cares about you. Even I've done the same thing. I've done things for guys, and they think I'm probably easy. They think that I'm not able to do it. They think that I'm just this easy girl that's not meant to be. But that's not the truth. I'm doing it because I actually care. I'm doing it because I actually genuinely want to gain your love, and I want to gain your trust. I want to gain a relationship with you, and I think doing this is because of that reason. And we do not think about the future. We only think about temporary excitement. We're not thinking about what's tomorrow. We want to chase. Like, it's human nature, I guess, to chase. And I've been fair share to doing that. And that's probably why I haven't been with someone. That's why I'm probably still single. But I really want to refocus on what I really want. I want to give somebody. I believe I'm in a peaceful place now. And I'm getting there. And I may be doing a little bit of external patterns that I've had, but I'm trying to shut that down. I really am. And I'm not doing it out of desperation. I'm doing it because for me, it's mediocre love that I've gotten. I've only received mediocre love in my life by men and the people I've dated. So therefore, I believe that's what I feel comfortable with. So I'm trying to understand and trying to break my barriers or break my patterns as to what I really truly want. So what is it that you want? So why do you keep choosing the wrong person? Figure that out. What's really going on in your mind, and why are you actually choosing that wrong person? Do you know your worth? Do you know why you're settling for this guy or this girl? What's the reason behind it? And lastly, why do we keep trying to think we can fix other people? Is it because we have this problem-solving mind? But fixing others, maybe we can help them. Like, what is it that we do? Why do we want to feel like we are their savior? We're the person that they're going to change for. Why do we do this? And maybe it's because 1, we get validation. 2, we don't want to be a loser. We just think if we fix this person, like, we gain some achievement. And we're actually genuinely compassionate and caring for that person. I believe I'm the third. I definitely feel like I want to fix so many people out there, and probably why I even have this podcast, and this is helping me a lot in the midst of talking about everything. But why do we feel like we need to fix? Why do you feel like you need to fix someone? And the truth is that even in my own personal life, it doesn't even have to be a partner that I'm searching for to wanting to fix. I have wanted to fix other people in my life, but the thing is that they're not going to change. They'll only change for themselves, and you can't keep knocking on their door telling them, this is what's good for you, this is what's going to help you. No, they're just not going to change. They have to do it for themselves. And the sooner or later you figure that out, yes, be there. If you really care and are compassionate for them, be there when they're ready to come and talk to you. But that doesn't mean wait for it. Don't wait for that. Don't wait for that guy to be like, oh my God, I'm going to change for this girl. They're going to change on their own. They're not changing for you, by the way. They're not. They're changing within themselves. Then the minute they change within themselves, then they'll attract the same love that they know they're worth for. And vice versa. What I can tell you I need to change on is, yes, I do have my compassion. And yes, I give a lot to the wrong guys. So I want to stop doing that. I want to give it to the right guys. I want to give it to the people that are actually peaceful. I'm looking for something long-term. I'm looking for somebody who's going to give me that long-term effect. So that's what dating is. Really, what do you see love as? Don't judge it by society. Don't judge it by what your family is saying. Look internally. Number 1, know your worth. Number 2, figure out what exactly you want. And are you doing this passively, or are you doing it in desperation that you're looking for someone? Really go internal and figure that out, and then start dating. Ask yourself those questions. So this is an episode of Tuesday Thoughtful Questions.